Okay, back inside with the 97 A4 Quattro, not long after I replaced the Bank 2 Sensor 1 O2 sensor for slow response. Had a check engine light. The day I replaced that, the Bank 1 Sensor 1 slow response code showed up for the first time. So I cleared the Bank 2 sensor, reset all the codes, and here we are a couple weeks later, and now the Bank 1 Sensor 1 slow response code is showing up. And here it is, O2 sensor circuit, slow response, Bank 1, Sensor 1. I've got the sensor, so let's replace it. Okay, so on this vehicle, the Bank 1 is the passenger side because cylinder number 1 is on that passenger side. So Bank 1, Sensor 1 would be the upstream, and if you look, there it is right there. So there's the sensor, and there's the connector, short wire right to the sensor. Hopefully I can come straight down with a wrench and break that free. The other side came off super easy. Hopefully this will be the same thing. So there it is. Let me get a few things out of the way so we get better access to it and see if we can't break that free. Alright, let's get some covers out of the way. These screws are, this is like a quarter turn, and then these will come out. Okay, we'll get this out of the way. Let me get this section of the hose out of the way. Okay, so that gives us much better access, just taking that hose alone off. So I'm going to come straight down. Get a good look at it from there. I'm going to just come straight down and see if I can't break that free. Alright, so here's my setup on how to try to get at this thing. I've got an O2 socket, I've got a long extension, and I've got this wobble joint here too. So I should be able to reach down. If I have to get at a little bit of an angle, I can get at a little bit of an angle with this wobble, and I'll have my ratchet way up top here, and should be able to get it with this little configuration. So that's what I'm going to try. Alright, so there is the sensor. I'm going to sneak this in here. Try to get a hold of it. Oh, perfect. There I am. So now I'm on it. I'm on it now, and I can just put my ratchet there and see if we can't break this loose. Again, it's cold, room temperature. The other side broke free just like this. Hopefully this will do the same thing. So I'm going to resist the temptation of just putting an impact on this thing and just hammering it off, because I don't want to damage anything. So we'll just give it a twist here and see what happens. Oh, it broke loose. I mean, it was pretty tight, but I broke it loose. Awesome. Okay. All right, here's the connector for that. Conveniently located right here. I mean, there's the harness, goes right to the sensor. So let's unplug this, and I want to see if I can spin this thing out using the harness. May or may not. I might have to reach down in there. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to reach down in there. Yep, I'm going to have to reach in there and spin that out the rest of the way, unless I can get another turn out of it, and then it will spin out with the harness. I got it. There it is. Perfect. Alright, before I spin my new sensor in there, I want to just blow out these threads. And so here's my new O2 sensor, Bosch OEM. Got a little bit of anti-seize already on the threads. Just going to screw this right in. Alright, let me feed this down in there. Let's see if we can get a better, closer look at this. Alright, I'm going to have to get my hand in there. I don't know if you're still going to be able to see it. Probably not, but I'm just going to reach down and try to get that thing started. Pop the cap off of this sensor and try to get it started. That looks to be it. Let me reach back in there and screw down some more with my hand. Alright, it's kind of slow turning by hand, but I'm going to put the wrench on it and then with my hand turn the wrench to see if I can't get it going. I think the anti-seize is just making it slow to turn. I can do it with my hand, so I'm not stripping it. Alright, so I've got the socket on it. I'm just going to reach down now with my hand and just lift it off, move the wrench, swing it, lift it off, move it, swing it, and turn it by hand using the wrench with my hand deep down in there, which you're not going to be able to see because it's kind of tight quarters, but that's what I'm doing. Okay, so I turned it with my hand now until it's stopped. So I'm right there, so now I'm just going to put an extension on there and snug it tight with a ratchet. Alright, let's see if we can't get a wrench on this thing now. Just like that. Okay, the wrench is now hitting the exhaust. So I'd like to get another 1/8 of a turn on it. So let me reach down and turn it over to the next set of flats. Like that. And give it one more little bit of a crank. Here we go. Alright, that's it. That's all I need. That ain't coming out. And if I ever need to take it out, it shouldn't be that much of a problem. Bam! Okay, there's the shiny new sensor straight down. Here's the short harness. Goes right up to the connector. And then the connector goes back into its mounting spot. Like that. Done. It's got to be the easiest O2 sensor on the whole car. Alright, now I'm going to just put my hose back on and my cover. Those are the only two things I had to take off, and this whole job took me less than 30 minutes. Awesome. Okay. That's it. Now I'm just going to run the engine, hook up the scanner, and just watch the two O2 sensors now, bank 1 and bank 2, sensor 1s. Should be, I mean, they're both now, the second one's replaced, they should look the same on the graph. Alright, so let's compare bank 1 sensor 1 and bank 2 sensor 1. Bank 2 sensor 1 here down the bottom I replaced several weeks ago. And this top graph I've just replaced just now. So I'm going to start the car now, let it run. We're going to watch. It's going to take a minute or two for these things to reach temperature to start working. And then hopefully the graph will look very similar, both top and bottom, on both of the now new O2 sensors. Alright, so we'll give them a moment here to warm up and start generating voltages, and they should swing up between 900 millivolts and 100 millivolts. We got a little activity on the one we just replaced, and also some activity now on the one I replaced several weeks ago. Okay, so that looks good to me. And they're both operating, they're both fluctuating back and forth. So now I'm just going to clear the check engine light and we'll run it, and hopefully it was the only code in there. And so now I think we've got that figured out. I'll reset the check engine and we should be good to go. Alright, so there you have it. I think it was a P0133, I believe it was, for the upstream O2 sensor, lazy or slow to respond. It's probably the easiest O2 sensor to replace on this car. Passenger side, right by the firewall. Did it in less than half an hour with nothing but hand tools. So it was pretty easy. And so there you have it. Until next time, thanks for watching.